The fair gone from that eastern ledge. Operations can resume. Wonderful. Of all the things that ever walked out of that desert, you're my favorite. Pardon? Oh, I see. The Home Office finally managed to dig up a copy of the Mortis Mining Branch Handbook. Thank you for delivering it. Gone into the outpost building, I believe. Go and speak to him. He's got some gold for you. They were our biggest competition, and they discovered this site, actually. When we caught wind of it, we made sure to get up here with a bag of gold for each of his workers. So they promised to work for us instead, of course. Work like a charm. Poor Edgar Eder never found a way to recover from that. There's no one else to run his mine. He probably couldn't find the money to pay them even if he found new staff. If I sound proud of us, it's 'cause I am. It was a big victory for Mortis. I've seen some strange things. Flickers and flashes from the top of that mountain. No idea what causes it, and I don't want none. We've got our hands full down here as it is. He's a weak-eyed, knock-kneed, biscuit-biting excuse for a scholar. Well, he's the one I've got, so that's that. A forsaken, wretched wasteland with more beasts than grains of sand. Still, by the domes of Odessa, I'll not see this venture fail. If it weren't for the beast lurking at our doorstep every day, I'd find this place quaint. As it is, I can barely retain my sanity. Capstan Odvar runs an inn and serves as our chief of security. I've received reports of strange happenings in those caverns. One of the workers claimed he saw horrifically scarred men wandering near Saltwell Mouth. Good eve.
Before I came here, I've never seen such a place.
A Fey relic? Was that it? She called it a light. I wonder what possessed those fools to steal it. No matter. Facts are, without you, I'd still be tugging my beard at the bottom of that slope. So please have this. The interest rewards those who smooth its way. All this caused by a stolen jewel. Remarkable. As I've always said, there's no understanding Fey. All the same, we ought to have known we were digging right above a Fey hollow. Didn't seem important at the time, I suppose. It's a place of mystery and intrigue. No one knows what lurks at the top, though everyone's got a guess. Scholar of mineralogy, Mortis Mining, and unwitting adventurer. A pleasure to make your acquaintance, I'm sure. Odessa could not have been built without the Mortis mining interest. I've heard tales of terrifyingly scarred men appearing at the entrance of the caverns from time to time. I don't care why they're there, I just don't want them anywhere near me. So long. Hello. Oh, it's you.
You look well armed. Aren't you here about the Tirnoch? We have a vicious one on our hands. It's about the desert, killing any workers it can catch. How in blazes it developed a taste for gnome flesh, only that damn thing knows. Confound it. Between the Canyon Hill incident and that beast, our schedule's ground to a halt. You got the picture. Don't know how the damned old thing got a taste for him, but once it gets an idea, there's no stopping it. We've put a price on its hide, but who'd be crazy enough to earn it? Well, you sure? All right, it's your funeral. You should speak to Edgar Aaron of Aaron Excavations. He'll know how to find Bloodbane. Edgar's lived in the Hollowlands longer than any of us. Speak to Edgar Aaron of Aaron's Excavations. He's been in the Hollowlands longer than any of us. He'll know how to find Bloodbane. I'll warn you, though, Edgar's bitter about Motus luring away his workers away with higher wages. He probably finds the situation ironic now that Bloodbane is attacking Dunehead Mine. They were the first mining operation here in the Hollowlands. Foreman by the name of Edgar Aaron. Rumor has it he spent every coin he had building his mine. When Motus moved in, they waved bags of gold in the faces of Aaron's workers. The next day, they all jumped ship. It's tragic, but it's business. We don't know where it got a taste for the gnome miners, but it's been terrorizing the Dunehead mine. Motus is offering a considerable bounty for its demise. Once word got out that Edgar Aaron had found this mineral-rich site, Motus rushed to get an operation set up here. I'm all the muscle they bothered to send. I'm the lone guard Motus hired to protect this place. They've given me a chief of security title, but that means nothing when I've got no men to command. Now we've got a Tirnoch that's more than a match for a small army. I know better than to go out there alone. No one knows what's at the top of Cloudcrest, but that don't stop folks speculating. I've heard the first Fae set foot in Amalur came from there. That'd explain why there are so many of them in Detir. Aaron Excavations. They're the other mining operation in the Hollowlands. Motus's only competition. Not particularly stiff competition, mind you. Especially since Motus wooed all of Aaron's miners with much higher wages. Aaron Excavations. Especially since Motus wooed all... You look... Never lower your guard in the Hollowlands. The desert's vicious... He's the foreman of the other mine here. He knows a thing or two about the Hollowlands. Been surveying this place long before Motus moved in. He ran Aaron Excavations until Motus hired his workers out from under him. It's tough, but that's business. I'm not sure what he's up to these days, but he hasn't left. I've heard bizarre tales about those caves. The workers swear they've seen ghastly men, ravaged by some plague or foul magic pacing round the entrances. We don't have separate rooms, but we've got beds upstairs. It'll cost you, though. We're the closest thing to an inn for leagues around us. I've heard the rumors. They might be saints or bastards, but they've coin to spare, and that's enough for me. Know it as well as my own calloused hand. You won't find much on the... We've the raw material. You look like you can take care of yourself, but you should be careful out there.
I'll get it back to you as good as new. Take care in the sands. They're unkind to the unwitting.
There's no work here for you, stranger. Check with Motus if you're looking for a job. You'll not find one with us. Catstan sent you my way, did he? Yes, I'm familiar with old Bloodbane. This Croddock is extremely protective of a particular pack of brownies. The surest way to draw it out of hiding is to attack those brownies. They help Bloodbane hunt, you see. I'll mark their territory on your map for you. Good luck. No one's been able to best the creature yet, and it would be unfortunate if you didn't make it back. I've lived in the Hollowlands for a time, seen lights and heard rumbles from the top that could have been the world's quietest storm, or very powerful magic. Mark my words, there's something happening up there. I've spent a lot of time here in the Hollowlands, living off the soil and the wildlife. I thought I'd finally made a living for myself when I discovered the mineral deposits here. Not sure what I'll do now that Motus has stolen my workers, but I'll think of something. Motus will get theirs someday. They call themselves a mining operation. They're more like a thieves' den. I was in the Hollowlands long before they ever set up shop. Once they got settled, they offered better wages to my workers. Every single one of them is working for Motus now. I couldn't compete with that kind of money. I had a small army of gnomes to help me with the mines. Spent a lot of money transporting them here and gave them a good living. And the miserable bastards had the gall to leave me for Motus. What is it?
You! You are my contact. I should have known. Punctuality is not one of your people's strengths, and you have so few. You may recall our mutual friend, Fomorous Hugues, the gnome who brought you back to life. I suspect you would, but I gather you've been quite busy. Well, Scholar Hugues has been missing since the attack on his tower. As his patron, I am quite concerned. I want you to find him. You are, how shall I say, uniquely suited to the task. It would seem the incident at Alistar made Scholar Hugues a touch paranoid. Every time we receive a clue about his location, he vanishes before I can reach him. But he's running out of places to hide. It's my opinion that there's one hope left of finding Hugues. You. And I'm grateful. Scholar Hugues is quite fortunate to have friends like us. Hugues has an old laboratory in the cavern of Saltwell Mines. I believe he's been conducting research there since the destruction of Alistar Tower. Find him, and you will be rewarded for your contribution to science. I will await your success in the Librarium in Edessa. He may have returned to his old laboratory in Saltwell Mines, but if any of my people approach, he'll flee. He's quite paranoid, for good reason. Edessa is the greatest bastion of knowledge and understanding in the world. Alfar have their arts, mankind has its gods, but our only commandments are the solid, predictable laws of natural science. His knowledge is invaluable and must not fall into the wrong hands. And I'm terribly worried about his safety too, of course. That goes without saying. As Templar, the Forum demands that I do everything in my power to advance our knowledge. It is a tremendous responsibility, and one I take quite seriously. Fomorous Hugues is one of my most brilliant scholars, and as you know, his research shows tremendous potential. His recovery is of paramount importance. My fellow Templars and I sponsor research that will lead to the betterment of all mortals. Sadly, Alfar and man alike often have trouble accepting the reason behind our decisions. But most gnomes realize we have their best interests in mind.
What? Don't bother me.
Those little mortals are trouble. For now, then.
Have I been down here so long? Is the madness so great that I see the faces of the damned before me? Or is it really you? It is! By the tone! Come closer. Let me look at you. It has been an eternity since I've seen a trusted face. Are you? In many ways, your awakening has brought me nothing but misery. But that is not your fault. I am to blame for all of it. Wait. Do you hear that sound? It could be the Sons of Laz, but it could be someone else. Assassins? The last we spoke, it was the Tuatha that reduced my lab to cinders. Now it's assassins. Everywhere I go, destruction follows. I have grown so weary of it, my friend. All I ever wanted was to unlock death's secrets, to shed light on the shadows. I never wanted this. Thank you for more than just your protection, for being the one good thing to come of this disaster. I have few friends, but I gladly count you among them. You must be mistaken. I've tried to contact him ever since I fled Alistar, but he never replied. Until now. Tien. Of course. When all the facts are considered, the truth will emerge. Ah, I am a fool. Octane has sent you to search for me, to have us killed together. Those assassins are proof of this. The Well of Souls is his project. Once it was functioning, he no longer needed me. Not if he could salvage the well in Alistar with Ventrinio's help. No, not me. But Ventrinio's old notes suggest that he may know a way into Alabastra. I wonder, perhaps, is it possible that you have met Ventrinio already? That would explain it. You were attuned to his well, but raised from mine. Unfortunately, the only way to find Ventrinio is to go through Templar Octane, which will not be easy now that we know of his treachery. Octane is a powerful sorcerer with tremendous influence. If you attacked him outright, you would lose all credibility. We must play his game. The only one capable of dealing with Octane in Edessa will be another Templar. Luckily, we have one. Her name is Templar Joriel, and she is reputed for her wisdom and strength of character. She and Octane rarely see eye to eye on matters of policy. If Joriel can make Octane answer for his crimes, then we will gain access to his information. And that includes the location of Ventrinio's lab. If you wish to uncover the mystery of your death, then you will need Ventrinio. He is the key to Alabastra. Find Templar Joriel in Edessa. We don't have much evidence, but I have a feeling she will help us. Oh, don't call it that. You're just having a talk with Octane in the library. In return for your discretion, he'll give us what we want. I know it's unpleasant, but when you work with the Templars, you just start thinking this way. It helps you stay alive. Ah, Edessa, the great gnomish city-state. Knowledge, reason, and logic rule there, as do bureaucracy and intrigue. A clever gnome can go far in that city, and a wise gnome goes far away from it. It's everything I've been able to put together concerning Templar Octane's crimes, with supporting evidence from Ventrinio's notes and correspondence. I always suspected I might need leverage over Octane. It seems Ventrinio felt the same. You must remember to thank him for me. I am Fomorous Hugues, scholar of vivification, prime circle. The Well of Souls was my life's work. The Templars rule from the Forum, and you can't get a thing done in the city without the sponsorship of one of them. They can be powerful allies, but the one thing you don't want to do is get on their bad side.
Your eyes may not see the natural decay, but I assure you, it is there. The little meddlers may do their worst. The Hollowlands will endure it and mend the wounds they make. Farewell.
I've been hoping you'd come by. Miners report no sight or sound of Bloodbane since you ventured out into the desert. That means they can start work on the Dunehead site, and that you've earned your pay. Thank you for ridding us of that menace. If you hadn't happened along, who knows where we'd be? And whatever that thing calls a stomach, I suppose. You're welcome here any time, friend. Though there's not much to do but swing a pick at rocks. Aaron Excavations. They're the other mining outfit in the Hollowlands, our only competition. Though I wouldn't say that they're particularly stiff competition. You look like you can take care of yourself.
The sun's something, isn't it?
Oh, thank goodness you're here. It's my miners. They've gone deranged. Bless my beard. Just as both sites were coming back to full operation. The lunatics fled out into the desert. I tried to stop one of them and saw nothing but a blank stare and a strange light behind the fellow's eyes. He looked cursed. This is the work of that Fae. The one who sits atop the hill on the outskirts of town. If you can find that Fae and make him fix this, he'll be duly compensated. Gulliver watches the mine from his perch on the hill to the south. You'll find him there. Didn't you hear me? They've gone soft in the head. Most ran off into the desert, some stayed in the mines. I tried to stop one of them and got nothing but a vacant stare and a strange light behind the fellow's eyes. Then he took off. He looked cursed. I bit my beard that... Nothing is going. Please, do something. Good day.
It's amazing that the Fae can flourish in such a warm. What are you here for, mortal? I'll not suffer another child of dust. I've had enough of your lot. Especially those of you calling yourselves Edgar Arryn. What a bizarre query. Your miner's plight is not my doing. If you look to rectify their situation, then we share a foe. The mortal that calls itself Edgar Arryn is to blame. Curing the miners of their affliction requires an implement, a Fae relic I gave to this mortal. Take the relic from him and find your miners. It is the only way to free them from their madness. He has fled to his mine. If you truly wish to save the little mortals wandering the sands, you must retrieve my relic from him. You would do well to bring it back to me as well, when you have claimed it. It is a powerful relic and could do much harm in the wrong hands. The mortal and I made a verbal contract. I would give him use of my light to help him clear the wild fae from his mine. In return, he agreed to gather his resources with my relic rather than the little mortal's methods, ripping and tearing at the land. He has instead farewell.
You found me, stranger. Been speaking to Calavar, have you? You've been putting out fires for Motus all over the place, I hear. What can I do for you this time? You've spoken to the Fae, I presume. I thought I saw you scaling that cliff. He wasn't lying. I wanted Motus gone. But I never meant to take it this far. If he'd just packed up his damn operation, nobody would have been harmed. Perhaps there is merit in cooperating with you. You killed Tirnoch and spelunk Fae Hollows for a living, after all. But if Motus doesn't leave the Hollowlands, I'm finished. There's no turning back for me. Kill this pest, boys! Belong to me. You understand, don't you? No! Stay back!
By the moon, where are these gazelles coming from? What was I saying?
Reginald, what do we do? The house is aflame! The house is aflame! What? Where do you think you're going with my pickaxe, you wretch?
I've never noticed how close the ground... Wait,
I could swear there was a lake here a moment ago.
What? What happened? What in blazes is this?
Well, it looks like everyone's back or on their way. We're in your debt once more. Edgar's facilities are vacant now. They're yours if you want them. They were never particularly profitable once his miners left him. But in the right hands, a few of the miners feel so indebted to you, they'd like to work there for you, if you'll have them. You should visit the mine when you have a chance. Surely you've heard the name. Odessa's most powerful mineral mining interest. Dug the very stones Odessa was built on, and the gems that power her. Good day.
I shall relieve you of the relic. For a mortal, you are remarkable. I can see something lingering in your eyes, something fey. It is both fascinating and perplexing. But, as you mortals say, the dust has settled. This region was on the verge of catastrophe, thanks to Edgar Aaron. It was fortunate you were here to stop him. For now, then.
These lands are treacherous, but if there's Hail, friend! The gnomes at Modus Mining mentioned you'd be opening a mining site here. That's all well and good, but I can help you make the most of it. For a small sum, I'll renovate this mine for you, make it bigger. In the long run, you'll earn more money out of it. What do you say? If you give me the gold, I can start clearing out one of the collapsed passages in the mine. I'll start cleaning out the passage right away. Who knows what we'll uncover in there? The Hollowlands are a harsh place to earn a living. We make do. I can't believe Edgar put the miners through that. He was always about taking the... There's no excuse for it. Motus's business practices aside, for another bit of gold, I can clear out the next section of the mine. We'll have this place running at full capacity in no time. Hey, boss. Do you need me to do any work? Just a little more gold and we can open up the last section of the mine. This will be about all we can extend the mine. We've run out of room in the cavern.